Possible splitting in various geometries, we have studied it in detail. Now let us focus our attention on three geometries: octahedral, tetrahedral and square planar. If we consider any splitting, extent of splitting can be measured by one parameter, and that parameter is called as splitting parameter. If geometry of the complex is octahedral, we can say it is a octahedral splitting parameter. Accordingly, tetrahedral and square planar splitting parameters will be there. Question is, how to understand the extent of splitting, means how to measure the splitting parameter. Answer for this question is in absorption spectra. Let us revise. The splitting in octahedral field is in two parts. D orbitals splits in two sets. Lower set is T2G and higher set is EG. And the gap between lowest splitted orbital and highest splitted orbital, that's our definition of splitting parameter, and we say that splitting parameter as delta O. I'm not talking here about low spin or high spin complexes, whether delta O is larger than the P or less than the P. Here only the gap between the lowest splitted and the highest splitted orbital is important for us. If we consider the second geometry, tetrahedral, there splitting gap is reverse, means gap between lowest orbital, that's a E, not EG, and highest splitted orbital T2 is nothing but the delta T, and you can recognize that delta T is smaller than delta O. Whatever the relationship we say, delta T is equal to 4 by 9 delta O, on what ground are we seeing? Are there any experimental proof? Yes, that only we are going to study. How to measure that splitting parameter, how to measure delta O and delta T. Now important point is square planar splitting. Splitting in square planar geometry. Here complications are there. In octahedral and tetrahedral, cases were straightforward. Now general point of view I am saying. I am coming to that point in detail later. But in square planar, already 4 levels are there. So what to consider? A gap between which orbitals will be the delta SP? As per our definition, lowest splitted orbital, that is a set of dxz and dyz, and highest split orbital, that's a dx square minus y square orbital, that gap will be the delta SP. But when electron excites, electron do not know whether it is the highest orbital or not. Electron will see which is the suitable orbital, upper orbital, there electron can proceed. Possibilities of excitation are there. Therefore, a perfect energetics for each orbital is important. What we consider highest splitted orbital dx square minus y square, its energy in relation to delta O. I am coming why we are saying it as delta O is 1.23 delta O, and next splitted orbital in square planar geometry is dxy orbital, and its energy is plus 0.23 delta O. See, the gap between those two is nothing but delta O. I can consider it is as delta 1. First splitting subparameter. Below dxy orbital, the orbital is dz square, but its energy is lower than that of the barycenter, and energy is minus 0.43 delta O. If I find the gap between second splitted orbital, that's a dxy, and this dz square orbital, how much will be there? This minus 0.43 plus 0.23. So summation is 0.66 delta O. It is a delta 2 subparameter gap I am considering. Now last energy level is a doublet of dxz and dyz orbitals, and its energy is minus 51 delta O. So how much gap is there between the dz square orbital and dxz and dyz orbitals? It is merely 0.08 delta O. So that is our third splitting subparameter in square planar complexes. I said it has what? Delta 3. Such many transitions are possible. Depending upon electronic configuration, we can guess which transition might have occurred. And in true sense, square planar complexes are rare, especially for D8 electronic configuration. These complexes are observed. In case of first transition series element, if ligand is stronger, then square planar complexes are there, and higher transition series elements, even if ligand is weaker because of the strength of the metal ion, the square planar complexes is observed, because in square planar complexes a lot of splitting is there, large splitting parameter is there. We're discussing their measurement in detail. What I want to say now, let you consider octahedral, tetrahedral or square planar. Splitting between orbitals is there, and that can be measured by excitation of electron from one energy level to other energy level. To excite the electron from one energy level to other energy level, energy will be absorbed, and that will be revealed in one kind of spectra. Which spectra? Right, absorption spectra. By absorption spectra, we can understand which wavelength is absorbed or which wave number is absorbed. Wave number generally we express in terms of per centimeter, but for calculation purpose we should take SI unit, so we can express it in per meter also. So we can get wave number in per centimeter or per meter, and with the help of the data, with the help of the value of lambda, means wavelength absorbed or wave number related to the absorption, we can find out the energy for that wave which is absorbed. Energy of the wave which is absorbed is equivalent to energy needed to excite the electron from one level to other level. Are you following? Means that energy of photon is nothing but our energy gap. But this energy gap we will get for one transition, one photon. But general way, chemistry deals with per mole measurement. Means Avogadro's number of species, Avogadro's number of photons, Avogadro's number of transitions, Avogadro's number of electrons for which we deal with. Avogadro's number we consider as a standard one. So what we need to do, we need to express that energy in terms of joule per mole, or in order to have the sizable number, we express it in terms of kilojoule per mole. Now let us know how to do these calculations. See, by absorption spectra, we can get value of absorption. Means maybe it in terms of wavelength, or it may be in terms of wave, or it may be in terms of wave number. Here, wavelength is mentioned. Now, if we know the wavelength, then how can we find the energy? See the formula. E is equal to hc upon lambda. What is the value of H? Now in SI unit we should write all the values. 6.626 into 10 raised to minus 34 joule second. And what is the value of C? Speed of light 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. And then lambda from experimental basis, from absorption spectra we are getting, but majoritically we get lambda in terms of nanometer. So let it be angstrom unit, nanometer or picometer. We have to convert it to meter. How to convert nanometer into meter? That value into 10 raised to minus 9. That much meter. So meter should be there. So I represented the units there. Then you will understand meter and meter will get cancelled. Second and second will get cancelled. Will be left now only J, means joule. So energy for one transition, keep in mind, one transition for one photon we can find out by this expression. Similarly, if data provided is in terms of wave number, then how to find out energy? E is equal to hc nu bar. What is that nu bar? That's a wave number, and that in SI unit we should express in terms of per meter. But if it is expressed in terms of per centimeter, we have to convert it into per meter. Now see, in this H means Planck constant, 6 into 6 to 6 into 10 raised to minus 34 joule second. C means speed of the light, 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. And this nu bar means wave number. we have to represent it in terms of per meter. If it is in terms of per centimeter, then we will multiply to that value by 10 raised to 2. We will get it in terms of per meter. Are these conversions clear? Again, we will get the value in terms of joule. Here you will find all units get cancelled. That is the reason why I represented units there, so that you will understand what may be the final unit of the answer. So final unit will be J, means joule. Now whatever the values of energy or that splitting parameter or the wavelength absorbed we found, those are in terms of joule. But I said conventionally we are expressing it in terms of kilojoule per mole. Then how to express that value in terms of kilojoule per mole? The value in joule into Avogadro's number, because we want to find out those many transitions from Avogadro's number of the electrons, Avogadro's number of the photons absorbed, Avogadro's number of the transition. So into Avogadro's number, what is Avogadro's number? 6.023 into 10 to 23 per mole. So that we will get the value in terms of joule per mole. But what is our intention? We want to find the value in terms of kilojoule per mole. And in order to find the value in terms of kilo, that's a term kilo, we are dividing it by means of the 1000. We will get answer in terms of kilojoule per mole. Then those values we can compare, correlate. It is a basis of finding of splitting parameter. Let it be the tetrahedral, octahedral or square planar. Calculations are different. So I am discussing it one by one. Example, here I want to consider cobalt chloro complex, COCl4 2-. See, cobalt deco complex was octahedral. We have discussed about that. Now let us see the cobalt chloro complex, which is tetrahedral. See the peaks also. Somewhat sharpness is there. See the epsilon value also. Epsilon value for tetrahedral complexes are high. Means molar extremity coefficient, absorption coefficient is high. Its color will be dark. Okay, we are interested in the wavelength. At which wavelength tetrahedral COCl4 2- shows the absorption? At 690 nanometer. So if we know the wavelength, can you find the energy for the photon absorbed? Can you find the energy needed for the excitation or transition? Which transition I am talking about? In tetrahedral field, D7 configuration. Means what is electronic configuration? E4T23. So one of the electron in E set will excite without changing the spin and will go in the T2 set. So after excitation, electronic configuration will be E3T24. And for that excitation, which wavelength is absorbed? 690 nanometer wavelength, means near to red region. That wavelength is absorbed. This wavelength is for how many transitions? Only one transition. So energy of the photon with wavelength 690 nanometer is nothing but the energy for the transition, is nothing but the energy of absorption, is nothing but our delta T, splitting parameter. But for what? Only one molecule. Let us substitute the value of lambda in our equation. E is equal to Hc upon lambda. H is equal to 6.626 into 10 to minus 34 joule second. C is equal to 3 into 10 to 8 meter per second. And wavelength lambda is 690 nanometer. So nanometer means into 10 to minus 9 meter. Always remember, we want to represent in the SI unit, so that proper units will get cancelled and ultimately we will get answer in terms of joule. So what is the energy in terms of joule? 2.88 into 10 to minus 19 joule. That is the energy for one photon of wavelength 690 nanometer, which is equal to the energy gap. So if I would express in terms of kilojoule per mole, then that energy in kilojoule per mole is equal to energy in joule into Avogadro's number divided by 1000. So substitute the value. What is the answer now? 173 kilojoule per mole. Are you comparing this value 173 with the previous value? What was previous value? 222 kilojoule per mole, and now 173. So this 173 is lower than the 222. It means tetrahedral complexes have less splitting. It's a proof than octahedral. And what are the 4/9 delta O we have given? That's an approximation. In order to have some more understanding, I am showing here the colors of the complexes. See, left side pink color cobalt aquo complex is there, which has octahedral geometry, and right side strong blue colored cobalt chloro complex is there, and which has tetrahedral geometry. Molar absorptivity coefficient I was seeing, molar absorptivity coefficient for Occo complex, for octahedral complex was low, was poor, therefore color is also poor, color is pale. And for tetrahedral complex, that epsilon value, molar absorptivity coefficient was high, so color is high, color is dark. So it's additional information. Here in this topic, in this part, our main point of interest is measurement of splitting parameter. So is the calculation of splitting parameter for tetrahedral clear to you? I have shown here for the wavelength. Similarly, if the data of the wave number is given, you can easily calculate, because there is no more difference in the octahedral splitting parameter calculation and the tetrahedral splitting parameter calculation. Now let us see some complicated splitting parameter calculation, that's a square planar splitting parameter, in next part. As a homework question for you, delta T value for COI42 minus tetrahedral complex you need to find out, provided energy of absorption is 2700 per centimeter. Here data is given in terms of per centimeter. Put the value in proper formula and find the answer. I am waiting for your answer. Write only answer in the comment box.